little opening slide there.
Okay, I just hit
You got
record.
it?
Yep.
All right.
I'm loving
Well, hi,
seeing
guys.
your faces. It's nice.
It's so nice. And the thing is I love doing this in person because I like to see y'all's faces as you explore. Unfortunately, it makes it a lot harder when we're in this format because it's hard for us to get you guys logged into accounts and things like that. But we're super glad that you're here. My name is Katrina Stroot, and I'm the digital learning coach at Reedy High School. And I have two co-presenters here. Do y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Sure.
I'm Sarah Isbell, and I am at the CATE this year and the Student Opportunity Center. I'm the DLC there.
And I'm Alyssa Hopkins, and I'm the DLC at Frisco High School.
So what we kind of put together for you guys today is just a little exploration of, we called it the Terrific Trio. As we're moving to more online instruction, more blended instruction, more personalized instruction, it's nice to have kind of go-to resources that you can jump into to create stations in your station rotation model, to create playlists for students to go at their own pace, maybe even some flipped instruction where they're watching something at home, taking a short quiz, or they have an entry ticket when they come in, things to create choice boards with. There are lots of things that you can do with these resources. And all of these resources are things that Frisco ISD pays for, so we have full access to all of these resources. So as we get started, just so you know, if you want to stay on mute, that'd be great. After each tool, we're going to take questions and talk about some ideas on how to use them. So please feel free to throw those questions in the chat. There's 3 of us, so hopefully we'll be able to keep up with the chat and help you out there. And like I said, we'll pause in between each little tool to ask for questions. So there's our information. We do encourage you to use the hashtags FISDLearns and Innovate2020 if you're a Twitter user. If you need our Twitter information, it's across the bottom, Hopkins Tech, Sarah P. Isbell, and Stroot Tech. You'll also have access to this presentation. In fact, there's your bit.ly. So it's bit.ly/BL Trio, Blended Learning Trio. And that will get you access to this presentation. It is an interactive presentation. We're going to be going kind of linearly because we each took a piece to talk about. So we're going to kind of be moving through a little more linearly. If you come into this presentation later and you just want to skip to BrainPOP or just WeVideo or just Discovery Education, you can use these tickets to jump to those portions of the presentation. Okay, are you all ready? That was a lot. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Discovery Education. If you do not, we were really hoping in a face-to-face that we would be able to get you guys in here if you're not already in here. If you already have your account set up with Discovery Education, you are more than welcome to open another tab, log in, and kind of play as we play. Unfortunately, because each school has its own passcode, it's going to be really hard for us to get you all logged in today under the correct campus. So you might just want to follow along. If you email one of us or your DLC after this presentation, we will be happy to shoot you your passcode. In fact, I can do that during lunch. So that way you can get in and play with this information right after we finish our session today. So we can't link all of the passcodes into this because it's a public presentation and we can't let those passcodes out into the world. So if you have never played with Discovery Education before, for those of us who have been in education for a really long time, this used to be called Discovery Streaming, and it was a whole bunch of videos, some good, some bad, right? All right, so this platform has changed considerably. Uh-oh, it has request access. Okay. Sarah or Alyssa, can one of you change the sharing settings? Thank you for letting us know.
I'm working on it
Brittany.
right now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for letting us know, Brittany. Okay, so let's look at Discovery Education. So like I said, it used to be Discovery Streaming. It had a bunch of old videos, some good, some not so good. it has changed considerably. Now what you have in Discovery Education is full-length videos up to like Discovery movies, right? Super long videos. But you also have little tiny clips. So little 2, 3, or 4-minute clips, because Discovery has chopped up their videos to make it easier to present to your students and to use just the pieces that you need. For my social studies and my English teachers, tons of primary sources. And I know that's really important when you're writing your DBQs and your research papers and things like that. There are tons of primary sources out there. And you can actually search just for primary sources, which is nice. There are sound clips and speeches. So as you're studying various points in history and famous speeches, you can have the students listen to, let's say, I Have a Dream, or to any of the speeches, the famous speeches from presidents or historians. There are also images and reading passages and full text documents and even interactives. I played one the other day as I was just messing around. I played one with a little grocery cart, and it had a whole grocery store in front of you, and you had to grab all of the healthy options and drop it into your cart. And if it wasn't a healthy option, it wouldn't let you put it in your cart. So there's even things like that on there for your younger kids, maybe even some of your older kids that would enjoy that type of interaction. And all of this information is organized by standards. So you've got your TEKS in there. Resource type, you can search specifically for reading passages, specifically for movies. I'm sorry, my dog just came flying in from outside. And then even by grade level, okay? So you can really, really dig down into the information. I am gonna show you, I promise, I'm just talking real quick. All of these resources have citations. So if you are using them for presentations, if you are using these resources to create research papers, the citations are there. The kids can just copy the citations and put them in their bibliography or their works cited page. So it makes it super easy and convenient for the kids. By the way, all of your kids are already loaded into Discovery Education. They're already there. They get loaded in by technology. The login is a little funky, but we have a sheet for you guys to give to them so they know exactly how to log into their Discovery Education account. So when you ask them to do some research, this can be one of the tools that you ask them to conduct their research in, because they can log in and they can save things and research things. So that's pretty cool. Which was actually my next point, but let me jump back up to the top. Guys, everything in Discovery Education you can use for your own classroom use. You can use for your presentations, you can use for your stations and flip learning, you can use for all of this, even the videos. The videos are downloadable. So you can download the videos and chop them up however you need to. The only thing you gotta be careful of there is watch the copyright guidelines and make sure that the videos that you've chopped up are behind a password. So you could chop these videos up, piece them together, and put them up into Canvas if you wanted to. And your kids can do that too. They can download the videos and throw it into WeVideo, which Alyssa is going to talk about, and change, kind of mix the videos together and create their own product. One of my Spanish teachers had them find a short clip that the kids downloaded. They threw it into WeVideo, they muted the sound, and created their own narration in Spanish. So that's also something that you can do. All right, so today, after this presentation, or if you want to shoot me an email, struttk@friscoisd.org, we'll get you your passcode to make sure you can get in here and play, okay? So hold on, that's not what we're doing. We're going over here to Discovery Education. All right, so here is Discovery Education. It's very clean. They've changed the front quite a bit recently to make it easier to navigate. Notice you can search by topics down here or by subject areas. You can dive right in. Really, honestly, my favorite thing to do is to, where did my little search bar go? Let's refresh. All right, maybe not. We'll just go into subject or standard. So there's subject, there's standard. My content is anything that you've saved to use later. So as you're kind of cruising through Discovery Education, you can add stuff to what's called your quick list, and I'm going to show you that. So if you're just looking for resources that you want to use later, you can add it to your quick list so that, sorry, Kroger quick list, to your quick list so that you can come back and grab it quickly to add to your playlist or to add to your station rotation or whatever the case may be. So let's go into, because I'm more familiar with science, I'm going to go into science. And up here, you have a little search. Maybe. It's trying real hard, guys. There it is. What I love about this magnifying glass is you can type in your own search. So maybe I want to say cells. So here's my screen. You can see if videos are full videos, if they are video segments. Over here on the left, you can tell them what you want. So for example, right here, this editable. If you click on editable and you see this little tag, these are videos that you have permission to download and edit however you want. And so do your kids. Okay? So if they open this video up, they actually have the option. There's your citations, by the way. Remember, I told you that all of your citations are here. There's MLA and APA, so they just have to copy and paste that into their information or into their bibliography. All right. Up here, see that little plus sign? That puts it on my quick list. I'm sorry, y'all, that's real hard for me to say. That puts it on my quick list so that I can go back and find it very quickly, because you may be going through this really, really fast. Then these three little dots, there's your download. So I can actually download this in low or high resolution. It's going to download to my computer down here, and now I can drag that into any video editing program I want and play with that content, or link together. Maybe I find 3 or 4 segments that are better than a full video. I can pull the 3 or 4 segments that I really like, that I think my kids will understand, and put those together in my own video. So I don't necessarily just have to rely on what Discovery Education has. I'm going to check my time real quick because I'm going to have to turn it over to them in just a minute. Okay. So quick list. Okay. I added it to my quick list. Sorry, trash guys are here. You're going to hear my dogs go off. I can download it. I can add it to my content. Y'all, this is actually really cool because within Discovery Education, you have the ability to create folders. So maybe that's old school. I got first 6 weeks up here. Here's biology, mitosis, and cancer. This was a project that my biology teachers did a couple years ago. My civil rights videos for my social studies people, my Spanish research when they were doing research for a destination project. This My Content is really cool to organize the stuff that you find so that you can, again, find it quickly. So in this virtual learning environment, maybe you have Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, and you put all of your resources in the My Content. Okay? So here are lots of videos. I think I went to the wrong place. That is not what I meant to do. Please hold. There we go. Of course, now I got to go back a couple. There we go. All right. So also notice on this left-hand side, you can do primary sources. There's only one primary source for whatever cells that I looked for. Okay. So you can find primary sources. If I take cells out and do primary sources, you're going to see a lot more. Okay. By the way, what I just did is super handy. I learned this at a workshop. When you open your search bar up here, if you don't type anything in, just hit enter. Your screen looks completely different. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to search just K through 2, 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12. It also lets you look for different channels. Again, I'm sorry, the dog's going off. It allows you to search through channels that Discovery Education has organized. Magic School Bus. All right, so you can look at the channels and what each one of these channels has on it specifically for social studies or virtual field trips. Amazing virtual field trips in here, y'all. You can search for just videos, just images, just text. Hold on just a minute. And now the other one's going crazy. So you can break things down and make it a little easier to view. Okay, again, over here on the left, I can search for editable. All right, so there's anything that I can download and change and adapt for my purposes, for what I need for my class and my kids. Okay, so this is a really, really fantastic resources, lots of resources in here. The last thing I wanted to show you in here is, let's see if I can go home. Sorry. There are lots of professional learning opportunities in here. So if you need some extra professional learning at the end of the year to add to that form, you can go in here and watch some of these resources and kind of reflect on them and use them as professional learning. I'm gonna have to turn this over to somebody else because my dog's going crazy. And there are also instructional strategies in here. These are great for our blended learning, okay? It talks about summarizing activities, compare and contrast, instructional, questioning, all kinds of different ways to engage your students. Things like tweet, where they have to tweet out their knowledge in, I guess it's now 260 characters or whatever the case may be. There's AEIOU, which is a way for them to kind of say like an aha moment, how it made them feel, things like that. 6-word stories. So there's lots of resources in here to help you kind of gain some instructional strategies to help your students. All right, so there's a lot. There's a lot to get in here and explore. Shoot me an email so I can get you your passcode for your campus and make sure that you have full access. When I send you your passcode, if you need it, I will also send you student instructions so that your students can log in as well. Okay? All right, so we're gonna open it up for questions. Feel free to unmute your, there we go. Feel free to unmute your microphone if you'd like, or if you'd like to type it in the chat, you can type it in the chat. I am going to stop my sharing so that Alyssa can take over. No questions about Discovery Education? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa, who's going to talk a little bit about WeVideo.
Okay. WeVideo is another awesome tool that our district pays for us to have. And let's see, back a slide. It's an online video editor. You can also edit sound. You can also use it as a screen recorder in the same way that you might use Screencastify or Loom. And it allows you to import video, music, pictures, all of your own things that you have gathered from any number of places. If you got it from Discovery Education, you took pictures, your own pictures or video, or you got them from somewhere else. Or you can record things right within WeVideo. There's also some stock video and music that WeVideo has that you can use. And there are tons of templates and themes so that you don't have to start from scratch with your presentation or your video or your GIF or whatever you're going to do. You can add cool transitions. You can put in text, frames, backgrounds. There are tons of resources in there to make your video look really professional. And this is not just for you. You can use it to create all kinds of videos for blended learning for your students, for stations, for virtual learning, but your students can also have access to this as a resource to use in creation for projects or whatever you want to have them do. WeVideo works well on Chromebooks. It's a cloud editor, so it's not a program that has to be opened on a PC. And there's also an app. So if you have students with iPads, they can use the WeVideo app. And there is no time limit on the videos. There's no watermark. And students can be added to a group. This is great for collaborative work. They can work together on a video, and they can edit it at the same time. You as a teacher can be a manager of all your student groups, and you can see all the student videos. If you want these advanced features for WeVideo, because you can log into WeVideo right now and just have the basic features. But if you want some advanced features, talk to your DLC to give you an upgraded account for you and your students. They can actually upload your students and put them into classroom groups for you. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at WeVideo. This is what your WeVideo screen looks like. Again, you log in with your FISD Google account, and then this is what's called your dashboard. It tells you about your account, how much storage you use for your account, and you have some menus up here at the top. Your dashboard is going to allow you to create all of the new options here. You can see that you have options for video, for recording, that's your screencasting, for a GIF or a podcast. The projects menu, this is where all your different projects, and you can create folders. So I just have one folder called My Projects. You can look at your different projects or create a new one within that project. All of the media that you've uploaded into your account sits under your media. You also have an where you can share with everyone in Frisco ISD, or if you have groups formed, you can share just with student groups or other teacher groups. All of your exports that you've exported, if you created any projects, will be here. And if you click all exports, you can see videos that other people in Frisco ISD have created and exported. And then you can get to all of the different templates here. You can also get to it from different spots. But in your dashboard, I'm just going to open up this one here. I actually downloaded this video from Bill Nye from Discovery Education. And it's a longer one, so it took a little bit. It's a 5-minute one. It took a little bit to get up here, but you can then drag it into your timeline, and then you can use all of the various editing tools. You can cut. You can use the audio tool here to record or to replace, and a voiceover like Katrina was talking about with her Spanish students, where they pulled in the video and then they used the microphone to record over in Spanish what was going on in the video. You also have the option to add in different audio and to choose a theme. And then you have all kinds of options here to add from the stock media. So stock media is anything from video to pictures to audio, and you can search in the categories there for whatever you want. Like this was a zoo search. with all different kinds of things that you might want to add to your creation. Then you can add text, and you can see that there's motion text, static text, call outs, themes. There's all different types of options that you can, including seasonal text, depending on what you're creating, that you can create with your video to put into your video. You can add different backgrounds. And again, there's tons of options for that. But when you're in this My Media section, this is where it will allow you, if you go to import, to browse and select something either that you've downloaded from Discovery Streaming onto your computer, or if you have media stored in your Google Drive, or even from social media sites. And that could be helpful for students if students are using this to create projects and they've done their own video, they've tweeted it, they've put it on Instagram, or they've found it somewhere, and they can just get it right from there, especially if they're working from home, not necessarily at school where these things are blocked, but if they're working from home, they can pull that media from those different spots. When you go to record here, this allows you to record from a webcam, from your screen and a webcam. This is where you can actually go and do the screenshot if you wanted to take a screenshot or a screen video similar to Screencastify or Loom. But then it pulls it directly here into WeVideo, where you can edit it and turn it into a more professional looking video. So that's really an advantage here. And then if you wanted to narrate, you have access to your microphone here, and you can just click and record over any part of your presentation that you want. And let's see. In terms of sharing, this is some pictures of my grandma who turned 100 in May. When you've got your presentation exactly how you want it, and you go to finish, you also get multiple options for how you want to export it. You could export it as a video. If it's something that's only audio only, or if you wanted to do a GIF, you have resolution options. And then you have options for destinations. This will just process it right here in WeVideo, and then you can download it, and then you can upload it into Canvas or post it wherever you need to for your students to have access, or students can turn it into you in Canvas. You can also send it to Google Drive or YouTube or a variety of other places. So the students would have options if you're having them submit projects. And then you can just create in WeVideo directly from here. If you just want to do a screencast directly from here, you want to make a GIF, and you can have different folders. I just have one called My Project, but you could have different folders for different things that you have going on for Unit 1, for Unit 2, and so on. And then the podcast option is fairly new. This is a pretty cool option if you wanted to have students create a project. It's a great choice to give students, particularly if you're doing blended learning and you're offering them different options for showing their learning. The podcast option is a really cool one. And with WeVideo, they could do the podcast in groups or pairs. So that's pretty much all for the overview of WeVideo. Again, if you are wanting to use this frequently with your students, your DLC can help you get the advanced version that we pay for and get your students uploaded and put into groups for you. And so now,
can I add something to it? I know teachers that
certainly.
use this. I know teachers that use this a lot for making their instructional videos that they upload into Canvas, because you can upload instructional videos like from Discovery Education or like your Bill Nye, then add your own screencast in it and your webcam of you, you know, giving a bit of instruction with it. It's just a really easy tool to use, and the students take to it so easily too. Just throw my 2 cents in there.
Yes, you're right about that, Sarah. And does anyone have any questions specifically about Discovery Ed at this point?
WeVideo?
I mean, WeVideo. Oh my gosh.
I have a question. So
Yes.
will this take the place of our Loom videos? I know back in the spring, we were creating the Lucy and our own videos. So will we move from Loom and move to WeVideo for all of our instructional videos?
I think that's a personal choice. We just
Okay.
wanted to show you that this was an option that not everybody knows about, that the district is paying for. I think
Perfect.
Loom, probably the district is not paying for Loom, but you know, like a lot of tools in the spring, some of them were giving their advanced versions for free. And we don't know if any of those tools will come back now and say, well, we're going to continue to do that for you. But WeVideo is something that our district is paying for. So that's why we wanted to kind of highlight it so that you would know
Okay.
there is another option that we're already paying for if you wanted to try it.
And Loom is great for your quick videos. If it's a very quick how-to, if it's a quick introduction and you're not going to need to edit it or add sound or, you know, intros and exits and things like that, Loom is probably fine. I think it depends on what you're doing with that tool. If it's just a quick howdy-do, you probably don't need to go through all of the, you know, hoops of WeVideo. If it's a pep talk or a welcome video, I think it's personal choice in that case.
Okay.
And
Thank you so much.
WeVideo is so good for students editing their projects.
Yep.
Yes.
Because with the Chromebooks, it's the main tool to go to edit.
Yep.
It's robust and it's easy, and you can use it on a Chromebook. So that's really its big feature for FISD. It's for student project editing.
You know what I probably can do? Hold on. I'm going to put in the chat. Is the chat, I'm thinking out loud, guys. I'm trying to see if I can shoot. Is the chat recorded in the screen recording? It isn't, is it?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Okay, I can drop this in the chat then. There's all of the codes for Discovery Education. I sent Simone hers and I sent Brittany an email as well, but that should have everybody's passcodes and instructions on how to join. So you can do that. I see people popping in there. I think I can post that in here pretty safely. There we go. That'll help you all out as far as making sure that you have your upgraded account so you have access to everything. Okay. All right, cool. I think, Sarah, you get to take it away.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share the screen. And get to BrainPOP. It's loading. So BrainPOP are, if you've never seen it, it's these little animated movies that they create on all kinds of subjects. But they also have related materials that some you can integrate into a lesson as they are. Some you're going to want to just kind of take the idea and maybe build in Canvas. It integrates with Google Classroom, which we're not using that. We're using Canvas. So I found a lot of great ideas that you can build in Canvas or just use for instruction. Let me show you where you access BrainPOP, because it's not through Clever. It's not through the portal. You can get to it that way, but you're not going to sign in under the FISD umbrella that way. So when you or the students are in Drive, you just got to show them where it is. Up on the apps list, the little polka dot square there, if you'll click on that and scroll down a bit, you'll find BrainPOP. It's got the little Moby robot. That gets you in under the login, you'll see in the upper right hand corner when it comes up, I won't be logged in, and then it'll just auto log me in. There it says log in, but I don't have to do anything, and it's logged me in, so I'm good to go.
Sarah,
So,
I don't mean to interrupt. Sarah, I'm sorry for interrupting. If you are a high school teacher hanging out here, high school does not have access to BrainPOP, only elementary and middle school, just FYI. Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's okay. I failed to mention that. You're right. So when you're on BrainPOP's main page, it's got it organized by subject, and we're going to look at that. Every day it's got today's topic. Today it's civil rights. Yesterday it was COVID-19. And it's got different activities and the video that goes along with it. And all their videos feature the same little characters. So the kids get used to those. Those are the characters. And they just do a really clear, good, basic understanding of the different subjects. So if you go up to the search bar, I'm going to search American Revolution. You can search something that you teach. And what it brings up for that are all these different things. Now, it's going to ask you occasionally when you go into activities, you want to import your classes. I'm going to say no. That's talking about importing from Google Classroom. So I'm going to say no, since we're not dealing with that. So I just want to give an overview to my students on the American Revolution, just the basics. So I'm going to click on that. And when you do, you get the little movie, which is loading. This one's 6 minutes and 27 seconds. So that's a pretty good introduction for BrainPOP. Some of them are half that length. And then you get a quiz with it, a challenge, make a map, make a movie, creative coding, all these different things. So there's a graphic organizer. If I open that graphic organizer, it says explain each figure's role in the American Revolution. Now, if I were using Google Classroom, I could assign that graphic organizer. My idea with that is I can take this idea and go, I can totally build that in Canvas. Okay, so you might get inspiration for ideas to use in your blended learning lessons by looking at some of the options. One option that's easy to use without importing or linking with anything are their quizzes, because at the end of the quiz, it offers the student the chance to email their score to their teacher or to anyone, and they can just email you that. So if you just wanted to check that, yes, they watched the video, no matter what I guess you could take the score too. But you have that option of them taking the quiz. Now it's going to look different when they started. It's going to open. You can review it, which is just reviewing the questions, or you can do graded, which is going to have you actually take the quiz, answer the questions, and see how you do, see what it's like for the students. So I did that one yesterday, and I did pretty well, I must say. I only missed one. There were things I totally guessed at. So within BrainPOP, there are all of these different tools that you can use. And instead of going through how to use them and what you'll do to make your own resources or for students to make theirs, I put in the presentation on this slide. Pause for a moment. We're loading. Okay, tools and features. You can explore these and see plans and lesson ideas. I've also included for you a 30-minute self-paced intro course to better understand how BrainPOP works and supports your learning. But I do want you to see too this resources that they have under the teacher area, which I'll show you where that is when you're on BrainPOP's main page. So you don't always have to go to the link that I provided. Down at the bottom is Teach with BrainPOP. There's an educator's website. Okay, so if you click on that, it takes you here, and you can do academic standards, tools and features support, school to home connection, or just lesson planning. So if I go into lesson planning, and they have lesson planning by topic. So we'll do grades 3+. And let's say I want to do an English lesson this time. has all these different lessons, and there's more than one under them. So let's do citing resources, since we've already talked about that today. And we'll go into this create do's and don'ts list. So it's a whole lesson on citing sources and the do's and don'ts with it. So discuss what it means to cite a source and why it's important, watch the movie, and then identify what to do and what not to do. Again, you can take this plan and build it for a classroom lesson or an online lesson in Canvas very easily. Like, just use the BrainPOP video. What you have to do is take the link from the BrainPOP video. So let's say it's this one. Just copy this link and you can paste it. I'm just going to copy and paste it into my lesson in Canvas if you're using it that way. And then have the activities as other stations in your blended learning, or just assign them. So go ahead and explore when you're on your own. I can't see now. I'm going to stop here. Now I can see my presentation tab. You can go ahead and explore these things on your own. There's time for that. But definitely take a minute and search around for things that you teach, and you'll find really cute instructive videos. So that's really the overview of BrainPOP. It's not hard. It's pretty simple. Are there any questions? Let me stop sharing.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected, so you might have answered this already, so I have to re-log in. When they copy the link, when you copy the link into Canvas, will students have to log in to Canvas, or?
To BrainPOP?
Yeah, to BrainPOP.
Yeah, to BrainPOP, yeah, they'll have to log in. They can go in through that way that I showed you and get to it, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But if you're not familiar with BrainPOP, you will love the videos. Just
yeah, I've used it, but never in Canvas. Okay.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Was everybody able to find their passcode if they needed it for Discovery Education on that list? Is there anybody that couldn't find their school? It looks like Lebanon Trail is not on there. So if there's anybody from Lebanon Trail, I'll track that down for you.
Could you share Cobb's again? I got disconnected.
Cobb's?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, oh yeah, you probably don't have the chat.
It disconnected. I saw it, but then my computer went out, so.
Well, yeah, and if your computer goes out, you lose the chat, unfortunately.
Gotcha, okay.
Here's Cobb's right here. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, no problem.
Wonderful.
Anybody else not able to find theirs? Awesome.
For WeVideo, email your DLC. They'll have they'll set you up as an advanced user of WeVideo, and then once you have your student rosters, can import your students for you.
Yeah, and for WeVideo, I usually, for my teachers, just FYI, I'll create a group. So I'll just say debate. My debate crew uses it a lot. So I set up a debate group, and you can actually send a link to your kiddos that they can upgrade their account with. So you actually don't have to get anything together. They click on a link, it says, would you like to upgrade your account? They upgrade it, and then they're all together. So what's nice about that with WeVideo is once they're in that group together, I can share my video with Alyssa, and we can both collaborate on the same video in that group. But you have to be in a group to do that. So that makes it really nice too. So that's a really good option. It just can't be synchronous. So if Alyssa's editing, it tells me Alyssa is editing and I have to wait.
Oh, okay.
And then when Alyssa saves and gets out of it, then I have the option of going in to edit that video. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things that you can, all three of these y'all play really nicely together. And then you can have things from all three of these incorporated into a blended lesson or into a personalized learning lesson or a playlist or whatever the case may be. You could even get the same topic from, I just realized my fan was on. You can even get the same topic from each one of those resources, and they can learn, well, I guess not with WeVideo, but from BrainPOP or Discovery Edge, you could provide them with 2 opportunities to learn the same content in a different way. So that's even something that you can think about. Nelson. I'm looking. What other questions do you have? Nelson. Okay, I will put, I'm looking for Nelson right now. Uh-oh, Nelson's not on this list either. Okay. Just a second. I've got another list for secondary. There it is. I got it. Where did my chat go?
And if you haven't already seen our digital melting pot website, this bit.ly here is the link to our digital melting pot website. It's our secondary DLC website, but there are a lot of resources that also probably are the same for elementary, but it's our resources for all our digital learning, not just the 3 tools that we shared with you here. And then if you would like to leave us some feedback, here's the link to the survey. And we really appreciate you guys attending today and being with us.
And we're happy to take questions and hang out. If you would like to take an early lunch, we'll definitely let you go 15 minutes early. It's hard for everybody to play when everybody doesn't have accounts, and it's a lot easier to get people accounts when you're all in the same room.
Yeah.
So you can also take this time to try to get logged in and play if you'd like to, or you can take a 13-minute early lunch, which I'm sure none of us would object to not sitting at a computer for a couple hours.
And feel free to email us or your DLC if you've got any further information you need or questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Did y'all put a link to the presentation in the?
I did.
I think Alyssa did.
I did at the beginning.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Blessings.
Yeah.
We'll hang out as long as y'all want to. I'm looking to see. I think Buffy's gone.
Yep.
Do we need to fill out any kind of information?
Oh, the Innovate for this, just the Innovate survey. I'll drop the link in the.
Could I ask a question?
Absolutely,
Sure.
please.
So if I wanted to use a discovery education video like in a choice board or a learning pathway, what would be the best way to go about that?
There's a couple of things you can do. If you have built the choice board in Canvas or Google, you could just link out to it.
Okay.
It just has to be behind some kind of password. So you could link directly to Discovery Education, but they would have to log in.
Okay, so they would need to have
Other
an
option,
account set up.
they already have one. They're already loaded in there.
Right.
You would have to remind them of their login,
Okay.
or if it's an editable video, you have permissions to download it.
Okay.
So you could download it and throw it in your Google Drive and share it only with Frisco ISD. And chances are that choice board is probably a Google Doc of some sort, right? Or a Google site.
Yeah.
So then they would already be logged into Google. So then if they click, it would just load in the Chrome player.
Okay.
And you could play it from there. So you're welcome to download those videos as long as it stays behind a password. So you can put it in your Google Drive, you can upload it into Canvas. However it works for your kids. What age do you have?
I'm
What grade
third,
level?
so I'm a little.
Oh yeah. So, but they log into their Google though, right?
Yes. We
Yeah.
do
So
a lot through Google Classroom.
I would pull it down and put it in my Google,
Okay.
because that avoids that extra login for third graders.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
make
thank
it easy
you.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it easy for your third graders for sure.
Perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, perfect question. What else you got?
That's all I have.
And you got your passcode?
Yes. I
Morgan?
wrote it down.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, I have a question, and this may sound really stupid. I'm a first grade teacher, so we do a lot with Seesaw. We
Okay.
don't do Google Classroom. So you keep mentioning Canvas.
Oh.
What is
Go ahead.
Canvas something for the older kids that I'm not aware
So,
of? Okay,
yes,
that
Canvas
makes
is
sense.
your Seesaw for 6 through 12.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
when you mentioned that, I thought, oh goodness, this is something I don't know about. What is this?
I'm
Is this something-
sorry.
So
Okay, that's fine.
all three of us are secondary DLCs, and
Okay.
we work in Canvas. We've never seen Seesaw, but with Seesaw, you could definitely link out to Discovery Ed. You could, you said first grade? It would be really interesting to see how first graders created videos. It would be cute to see them do a how-to screencast with like WeVideo. But you can definitely link out to those BrainPOP videos. You can download the Discovery Education videos and throw it into your Google Drive so it's easier for them to just click on a link in Seesaw.
Right.
So if you have your playlist in Seesaw, it would open up and play in Google because that's already 2 logins for them, right? That's Seesaw and Google. You don't want to add a third layer of Discovery Ed on top of that.
Right. Okay. That was my question. Thank you guys.
Perfect.
This has been really informative. I
Yay.
appreciate it.
Good.
Okay.
We're so glad you got something out of it.
All right. All right. Are we done?
We're good, Julie.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hey, Alyssa, can you go ahead and stop the recording?
Yes. Hold on.